Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about our experience of building international e-commerce with Shopware for mywalit. First off, just going to start with the introductions a little bit. My name's Mark. I work for a company called GPMD. We're a systems integrator based in London. Been doing this for about 19 years so far. So built my first e-commerce site in '97. And we've been working with clients, large and small, luxury and international, ever since then. Hand over to Ermes.
Hello, I'm Ermes Moretti. I'm from Italy. I've been in England for about 25 years, on and off. I started on e-commerce about 20 years ago. I started from Italy, actually. The first commerce experience, the real experience, when I launched an e-commerce business in Italy in the early 2000. The business was called Chettimetti. We used to sell clothes, and we had a lot of challenges at the beginning, but at the end it was very successful, and we sold the business and we moved on. I worked as a head of e-commerce for other businesses as publication companies where I migrate. I've always been in this business, migrating custom-built platform into new platforms. So this company had a challenge all the time to create a multi-site and entering more content and reaching more people. From that experience, I moved on again to other businesses, and I can jump very quick to England, where I started working for a luxury brand, and they had the same challenge. They wanted to become international and multi-currency. And also they had a bespoke system, website, and they want to move it to a different platform which allowed them to do that. Up to now, they're actually doing that. They're very successful, and I'm very happy for them, and they're doing a very good job. So after that, very quick, I joined also mywalit, which they had the same challenge. They were looking to expand to an international level. We want to be a global brand, but to do that, we need the right platform. We need something we can actually use and we can scale up. So the next one, I want to talk about mywalit, the company I'm working right now. mywalit was born the first time in Lucca. We launched, the founder is called Chris Howell, and he launched a new line of wallet in 2005, colorful wallet, a multicolored wallet. At the time in 2005, there was a need for something very colorful, and it is very successful, and the company started to grow. Our first shop in 2005 was in Lucca, beautiful town in Lucca in Tuscany, and the first shop on the right-hand side is our first shop we had in Lucca, and it's still existing. After that, we opened another shop. And the other shop was still in Lucca, so we had two shops, another one in Florence, and we're moving forward, and we're looking to open another one in Siena very soon. These are some examples of what we do. If you want to see more, go to the website, www.mywalit.com, which has got a lot more, and there are a lot of controversial colors, a mix of everything, and they're actually very interesting. And some of the colors are really bright, but they're working very well. I mean, customers, we got very big response on customers. Also, mywalit is very interesting. Our biggest market is in America. In America, we have an office over there where you look after the B2B and the B2C channel, which is very important in America. America, for us, is about 80% of the market. 60% of our turnover. Also, we have an office in UK. In UK, we look after more the e-commerce, production, design, and all these aspects. Italy, instead, We have the marketing team, we got the B2B sales, yeah, basically we are distributing that way. This gives me a chance to go to Italy every month for a week, which is very good for me. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what we see as the international opportunity for all of our clients, not just mywalit. This slide is from eMarketer. It shows the growth in total e-com sales over the past few years. You can see it's set to get to $4 trillion by 2020. If you look at this by country, you can see UK sales in 2019 are going to be 86 billion, 87 billion. US is looking at $684 billion. This is. You look at China. This is 2.6 trillion by 2021, and that is going to be 60% of the global e-commerce sales are going to be coming from China. Now, I'm not saying you should all rush out and launch something in China. However, these stats are very interesting. You need to look at them on a case-by-case basis and understand whether that is right for your business and whether there is an opportunity in different countries. This is an old slide that I dug out from the internet. It's also from eMarketer. You can see here, though, that Asia Pacific is a $388 billion market, and the US was 419. So in 2013, the US was a much bigger market than China. However, as you can see from the previous slides, China is now a much bigger market than the US. So it just goes to show that you need to look at your business and how you might be able to take some of these opportunities. And if you do decide to launch international sites, one thing that you need to bear in mind is that people are 4 times more likely to purchase if you translate the site into their language, and that also goes for their currency, their payment methods. You have to localize the sites in order to take these markets. If you don't, yes, you might pick up some sales and you can ship worldwide, but that's not really going to capitalize on the opportunity. Okay, so I'm going to hand back to Ermes. He's going to talk a little about the current situation at mywalit.
Okay. Since 2005, the company now has 3,000 points of sales all over the world. We are from America to Australia, Russia. We are all over the world, basically. The point of sales are divided into departmental stores, duty-free, and little independent shops. So we have a big B2B channel. This means there are some challenges when you want to start to become global with an e-commerce website. Basically, you got a lot of to think about. Okay. The current site, the legacy. This is the legacy site. Is divided into region. We are shipping at the moment in 50 countries, and we have yes, UK and US. And the challenges we force IP redirect between US, UK, and Europe because we want to keep all the markets separate due to the B2B channel. We haven't got no flexibility on campaign because it's a bespoke and is a bit dated. No support for multi-language, so it will be a problem for us to start to reach out in different countries. Poor staff productivity. Unfortunately, I have to spend a lot of time to create content and apply to all different sites. Because you need to be technical on this current website. And I want to jump straight to the mobile optimized. Is not mobile optimized. It's just about responsive and as far as and nothing else. So we went to the market about 8 months ago and looking for a platform, and we looked different platform and in England and outside Europe, America, everywhere. And at the end, we decided to go for Shopware. Is a multi-language, multi-currency site. It has improved the productivity of the staff. They're actually able now to create content, upload it themselves without any technical training, which is actually the key. We haven't got a big team. We've got a very good team. I really, really like my team, but they are not technical, so we need something for them to work with. And Shopware, it was the perfect choice at this stage. Marketing tools is great for marketing tools. It's got very good marketing tools internally. Coupons, we can create coupons, campaigns internally on a platform. Well, if we think before we couldn't do it unless we were asking someone technical to create a coupon, and a coupon is more complex than we think most of the time because you have to obey a lot of rules. Now with Shopware, we can create any coupon at any time and distribute it and creating actually proper emails campaign and actually on-site campaigns. Well, we never had a reporting tool for the e-commerce, a real time, and that one was one of the key factors for me to check all the time how we performing in each country, every day, weekly and monthly. And that one is a great step forward for mywalit. Payment methods, well, we just a lot of choices to go through with Shopware, and we went on. Finally is mobile optimized, which is not finally, is mobile optimized. And that one is great because the 60%, even probably more sometimes, is the traffic is from a mobile. And finally, we want to, is a B2B suite. So we want to look after all our customers. We've got 3,000 point of sales. We don't want to have a conflict with them. And we founded a platform where they do B2B suite properly and out of the box, almost out of the box for us. And we're all happy with the choice.
Okay. So what we did is we outlined a strategy for the international rollout for each of the regional sites. So we started off, we're going to have a local site for each region that we want to target. We're going to have regional content. We're going to have it in the local language, local currency with local payments, and local marketing strategy to go along with it. So the markets we're rolling out into, we're really targeting them properly. And we feel that that's really important in order to capitalize on the opportunities. So phase one, we're launching with UK, US, Italy, Europe, and the rest of the world. In year two, we plan to add France, Germany, and Spain to that. In year three, we plan to add Australia, Mexico, China, Japan, and Russia. So it's quite an ambitious rollout of different regional sites, and that has quite an impact both on the team and how we deliver that and the platform that enables us to do it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the details, about the things that we feel are important that need to be covered off. The first one is SEO. It's a given, but this wasn't always the case with platforms. That we want nice, clean URLs. We want them in the right language, and this is something we can achieve very easily with Shopware. hreflang, which we're currently implementing using a module, is going to be very pleased to hear. It's going to be part of 5.5, and along with a number of other improvements in terms of the management of content within Shopware for international sites. So that's a really big plus. Sitemaps, Shopware has support for this built into it. And the other point to make is Google Search Console. We also do Bing, but Google's the main one. And we make sure that every site is set up, particularly referencing the targeting of the country. Those are just the key points for internationalization. I'm not covering off any of the other sort of basic SEO requirements that we would roll out anyway. So talk a little bit about currencies. The main thing that we think is really important when you're rolling out internationalization is to control your risk in terms of currency. So we recommend that everybody has set price lists for the countries you're going to offer. And that means separate bank accounts as well. So dollars, pounds, euros in the first instance. And that's mainly because you don't want to be taking the currency risk. So there are, of course, other ways of doing this, but this is the way we would recommend, and this is as the best way to go about it. So the other thing that we've thought a lot about is how to make the experience personal for the customers in the different regional sites. Starting off by making use of customer streams and working and building those out on the regional sites and targeting the content and the product recommendations using the built-in functionality within Shopware. On top of that, we're going to be deploying Nosto, which, if you don't know, delivers personalization across the entire journey. We're focused on product recommendations. They're going to be rolling out dynamic content, which is going to be really relevant to us later on in the year. And that's focused on on-site content and email, so that we can really target in an automated way the content that we're delivering to each customer, making it very personal, very relevant to them. Phase 2, we're looking at more automation. So we've got a small team, we're rolling out to multiple regions. So how are we going to deliver that, and how can we help their small team deliver those regional sites? So the main focus of that is looking at automation around personalization. Tools like Salesforce Cloud or eMarsis are the things that we're looking at, and helping us to find the things that are going to make those things more interesting and more achievable from an operationals point of view. So the other thing that we think about very carefully is payments and checkout. This was a big part of this project, that we wanted to simplify the checkout and make it a very easy process to get through. So we've gone with the standard Shopware checkout. It's 3-page, 3 steps, sorry. We've added a few things like crafty clicks, click to address, which is internationally enabled, so it'll pick up any address across any country. The payment methods I'm going to come on to in a little bit, but there's a much wider choice in terms of payment methods than there was on the current site. And it's a very clean, very simple process through the checkout. Of course, thinking about mobile at every step of the way and testing it thoroughly and making sure that it works from a mobile point of view. So I talked about payments earlier. We chose Stripe as our partner in this project. The main reason for that is that Stripe offer us a lot of flexibility in terms of the payment methods that we can deploy. So these are just a few of them, the ones that are relevant for us. So obviously all the credit cards, wallets, Apple Pay was important, but thinking about the future, perhaps Alipay, GPay, there's Microsoft Pay, there's a number of different wallets that are all offered by Stripe. And also the local payment methods, so Sofort, GiroPay, ideal, relevant in Germany for when we launch there. And for us, having that in one platform ready to deploy is very is a big plus and makes it a lot easier to deliver.
Definitely.
Of course, we are seeing PayPal being very important in every market. So particularly in Germany actually, but PayPal is a really popular method in the UK, US, Germany. So we use the core PayPal integration to drive that, and that's a key part of every project that we roll out. I want to talk a little bit about duty, because this is a very interesting topic, and I think you should also think about shipping, which wasn't a major issue for us, because with mywalit, they're already shipping internationally, so a lot of those challenges were already ironed out. With duty, we recommend you deliver duty paid. You try and find a way to do that, either think about the duty and roll it into your price in each regional site. That's the best option. Make it simple for the customer. The price they see on the screen is the price they pay. If you don't do this and you deliver duty unpaid, then they're going to get an invoice from the courier to charge them for the amount of duty paid. So think about that. You've got to look at it in each country. You've got to know what the duty charges are in each country. For example, in the States, anything under $800 doesn't have duty. So if you're paying over $800 for your products, then you need to think about it. But if you don't, then you don't need to. So make it easy for the customer. Make sure that the price they see on the screen is the price they actually pay. And this is a key part of doing that. So localization, we talked about this a lot, but the first one is translations. It's a key challenge. It's a difficult thing to get right. Don't think it's going to be easy to do all your translations. We're using a partner to do this, so we have a translation agency that are doing the Italian, and that's even though this is an Italian company, they have Italian employees who can speak Italian. We're still using an agency to do it because of the sheer volume of work required. Also, from a customer service point of view, if you really want to target an Italian market, then you need to have customer services representatives who can speak Italian. So those are the two things to think about carefully in terms of localization, that you should have local language speakers if you possibly can. With mywalit, this was easy. With a lot of other customers, it's not. So you need to think about it. So I got a few key takeaways from us, and these are kind of technical, I guess. Our experience of delivering this project and getting, the challenges we faced. One of the things that we love is Snippets. So Snippets are fantastic. They allow us to change, not just for translations, but change anything across the site. So we can jump in, we want to change the label or some of the text, both on the front and the back end, we can do that. You need to be very careful. So we keep finding little bits. So this is the example of PayPal. You will see a lot, you will find German sneaking in there where you didn't expect it on the English site. So just make sure you go through and cover off everything and test it thoroughly. The API has been fantastic for us. It's been a really good way. We have a middleware solution that does all of our integrations. We call it LIM, and using the Shopware API, we've been able to use a lot of the translations and a lot of the different functionality we need in terms of the integration and pushing stuff in. We've done that through the API. It's been very flexible, and where we haven't been able to do it natively out of the box, we've been able to extend it to do what we want. So that's been a big plus for us, been really, really good. The other thing is digital publishing. There was some announcements with 5.5 that make it easier to do multi-language. Out of the box, we found a lot of the digital publishing, the shopping world stuff was very easy to translate. You set it up, you click the world, and you add in the translation. So that's been really good for us. One thing I want to mention as something to watch out for is tax. Make sure you understand how the tax works in Shopware. The items should not include tax, so you need to think about that in terms of the price that's displayed on the front end. The final thing that we wanted to say as a GPMD, and I'm sure Ermes as well, is a big thank you to the Shopware team for their support, their help, both from sales and marketing and the dev teams. They've been a real support all the way through the project, and that is really fantastic for us as a partner. We wanted to say a little bit about foundations. Building strong foundation, the key thing about...
Yes, no, actually, this is the takeaway I was thinking about. Is with my experience, every time we've done an integration, migration, we we've done something new on e-commerce. The important part is not only all the technology around, is building a solid foundation of the actual platform himself. Actually, and the foundation is not just the software, having the people all around, and the training, and it's all about people actually most of the time. And if the people, they don't actually understand the platform, they won't be able to use it. And having too many functionality as well on a platform, it will be very difficult for them to use it. So for me, it's better to start from a very solid foundation with the functionality we want set from the strategy, and then moving forward, and then scale it up over the years or over the month. It depends how big is the company. But normally is the best way to do it. If we do everything at once, in one place, at the launch, it will never happen, and it will be very difficult to maintain. And also in a business like mine, where I am at the moment and I've been in the past, we always have to consider the B2B channel. The B2B channel is actually very important. For us, it's 80%. In other company was a little bit less, but they are our customer, is an income, and it's the only place where our customer actually and the customer, they can actually see the product and touch the product, and they will come back on a website and purchase. Basically, for me, the takeaway is consider everything before moving forward on a platform.
Any questions?
You just told that you use multiple price lists over Europe. Do you have any plan how to handle the new geo IP blocking law that you now are focused to sell from any subsidiary to any country in Europe?
I could give you mine.
Okay, sorry, I should make clear, we're removing GeoIP redirects. Is that your question? So we're scrapping them entirely. That's part of the legacy system. The new system has no redirection in there. It has a system of helpful hinting. So we pop up and make a suggestion as to which region you might want to shop in based on your IP, but we're not doing anything else. So the price list, each site has a currency, and we display that currency in that regional site. Does that answer the question?
Would I be allowed as an English customer to buy in Italy, for example, to get a lower price?
No, that's quite a hot potato subject. So what we're doing is we're restricting the shipping countries on each regional site. So if you want to buy from Italy, if you want to ship to Italy, you have to buy from the Italian site.
Okay, and do you have some concerns that this will still be legal after the geo-IP blocking laws comes?
No, but maybe I'll talk to you afterwards. You could tell me what you think the concerns might be.
Okay, that's a big concern for me right now.
Okay.
Any other questions?
You mentioned that prices should be entered excluding VAT or excluding tax. Can you explain the reasons behind that?
Sorry, can I explain why?
Yeah.
Well, it's not configurable within Shopware, so the item prices need to be X VAT, X tax, and then you add the tax rules on top of that.
Okay, and have you experienced any challenges with that particular setup?
No, just that we weren't aware of it to begin with, and that caused us an issue.
It's useful to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about internationalization. What is the part of your business right now you're doing international with the brands or with your work in general?
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear that.
Sorry, is it better right now? Yes, okay. Internationalization is one of the topics you mentioned in the first slides.
Yeah.
What is your main business there? So what is, for example, the percentage you are doing over the border away from
Oh, I
UK?
see. Okay. Ermes is probably in a better position to answer that.
Okay, at the moment, our main market is America. As I said, is 60%. With the other 40%, well, no less than 40%, is almost 40%, actually, is the rest of the world. Europe is quite big for us. Apart from UK, we are not, funny enough, we are not very strong in UK. We are looking now to expand. One of the reasons I think we are not very strong in UK, we haven't got no shops in there, physical shops anywhere in the UK. And basically the business started from somewhere else. It started from Italy and went to America, and we expand all over the world in a different way. But yeah, it's all over. And our next is the objective for this year to actually improve and increase our turnover in UK.
Ermes, one more question I have is that how do you manage, I've got two questions. One is how do you manage returns from international countries? Returns. And the second question is that when are you launching your German site?
Okay. Well, I prefer. Okay. No, it's fine. It's easy. The German. Can I go to the easy one? To the German site is actually we want to roll out next year, straight away, and we got a very good customer B2B in Germany, a big, massive departmental store, and a lot of little retailers and small one, and I think a duty free also, and so it's going to be the next market, and it's actually quite good for us, Germany, and it's a good market. We like to be here. About returns depends where they're coming from. All the returns they go straight to Italy, and from Italy it depends what is the return. If it's the faulty one, is free. If it's not faulty, and if it's only for an exchange, probably this part is going to change in the near future, because we want to go in line with all the other retailers where the return is actually free, and take advantage of that. And I think it's fair actually to start to moving on in that direction. But first we have to do one step at a time. We've got to have the right platform to do that also. Yeah.
I just add to that return rates vary from country to country, so that's something you really need to think about, and industry to industry. So if you're selling to Germany, for example, the return rate is a lot higher than in the UK or Italy. So that's definitely something to bear in mind when you're planning it out. You can get very excited about your sales to Germany and find that 60% of it comes back. So
about the return, our return is very, very low. is about 5%. It is almost nothing. And this is what we're quite proud of that. It means the product and the quality is there, and actually probably even the images and how we present it is actually representing the actual product. And the images is really important on a website. Probably is the key factor for the returns most of the time.
So Mark, if I get it right, internationalization or taking brands international is not for everyone.
No, you got to look at it on a company by company basis. You've got to look at your business and whether there is an opportunity for you there or not. If you're operating a branded, if you're manufacturing and you are a brand, then there's probably an opportunity, I would say. If you're not, then it's less clear cut.
Any other questions?
You mentioned you deliver via delivery duty paid. So how do you manage this to pay the taxes internationally or the duties?
The courier handles that. So you can usually, with a courier, you can select a service that delivers at duty paid, and then they invoice you rather than the customer. But it depends on the courier services that you're using. So that's one of your logistics operations. You need to make sure you've worked all of that out.
A question regarding the technical side of the translation stuff. So you mentioned you work with agencies, and I'd like to know if when the translation come back, do you copy paste the translations into the software, or you mentioned the middleware or something?
No, we sent them a CSV file. They did the translations into the CSV file with the English and the Italian, and then we pushed it in through the API.
Okay, so this is a custom development for that.
Yeah, I think you could do it. You could do it through the standard import-export as well, but we chose not to because it was quicker for us not to.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? So I would say thank you for coming over and being here and giving this great presentation. So that's your applause.
Thank you.